Anatomy and Physiology tutorials, the reflex arc. The route impulses follow as they travel through the nervous system are called nerve pathways. The simplest of all nerve pathways include only a few neurons and is called a reflex arc. A reflex is a rapid, automatic, unconscious response to a stimulus for involuntary contraction of skeletal muscles. Examples of a reflex would be blinking as an insect flies near, ducking when someone throws a ball at your head, and two that we will discuss further, the knee jerk and the withdrawal reflexes. The nerve impulse pathway consists of 5 key areas. Receptors are specialized structures that are very sensitive to changes in the environment around them. These changes in the environment are known as stimuli. Receptors generate an action potential or a nerve impulse along the second area. This is known as sensory input. Sensory information travels along sensory neurons which will synapse or communicate with interneurons in the central nervous system. This third stage involves integration or interpretation of the sensory information. Within the brain or spinal cord, a decision is made and an appropriate command message will be sent out via a motor output. The fourth stage travels out a motor neuron. The command response will be carried out by the effectors. The effectors that carry out command responses are skeletal and smooth muscles that contract and glands that secrete. Remember the nerve pathway like this. 1. Receptors R. 2. Sensory input S. 3. Integration I, or an interneuron. 4. Motor output, or a motor neuron, M. And lastly, 5. The effectors, E. R-S-I-M-E, or SIME. This acronym will help you remember the simplest of nerve impulse pathways. Now let's take a look at the knee jerk reflex. Function in maintaining upright position or posture. This type of reflex only involves 2 neurons, a sensory and a motor neuron. Now let's take a look at the knee jerk reflex. Beginning at number 1, the receptor. When the patellar hammer strikes the knee, stretch receptors in the quadriceps femoris are stimulated. This initiates a nerve impulse along a sensory neuron in the peripheral nervous system, which transmits the information into the central nervous system. Within the spinal cord, the sensory neuron synapses with a motor neuron. An impulse is then triggered along the axon of the motor neuron and travels back into the peripheral nervous system. The motor neuron synapses with the effector, which is a skeletal muscle. The quadriceps femoris is the effector, and it will contract and cause the leg to extend, a knee jerk. Now let's take a look at the withdrawal reflex. Functioning in protection by limiting tissue damage when a body part touches something potentially harmful. This type of reflex involves 3 neurons, a sensory, an interneuron, and a motor neuron. Let's follow the withdrawal reflex. For example, beginning at number 1, pain receptors in the foot are stimulated when stepping on a tack. This stimulus of tissue damage initiates a nerve impulse along a sensory neuron in the peripheral nervous system, which transmits the information to an interneuron in the central nervous system. Here, processing or integration of the sensory information takes place, and then an appropriate command response message is initiated and travels along a motor neuron back into the peripheral nervous system, which then synapses with an effector. The effector is a skeletal muscle which will contract to withdraw the foot away from the source of pain. This concludes our tutorial on the reflex arc.